With everything that's going on in our country right now, I just wanted to talk about some things that I think would be wise for people to think about doing and planning for in the case of all eventualities, in the case of our country collapsing, in the case of war, in case of natural disasters, whatever, that I don't really see too many talking about or preparing for. First of all, have plenty of food in your home. It doesn't have to be all kinds of food, but enough for at least, I'm going to say, most people will say 30 days. I, I want to say longer than that because if there's a greater supply chain disruption than is going on now, we could be out of food in the grocery stores for multiple months, not just weeks. So I'm of the mind that be prepared for the worst case scenario. Um, Security. I am a big proponent of everybody being armed. Even the Lord told his disciples to go grab a sword, and there was a reason for that, which I may get into in another video. Um, as men, we have a responsibility to protect our families. Not only that, we have a responsibility to protect our loved ones and even our communities. So, what I would suggest is everybody, no matter what, unless you were a murderer or a rapist or something like that, have a gun in your house. Matter of fact, have enough weapons in your house to arm all of the adults. Not only that, have friends, local friends, preferably those in your very neighborhood, who you get together with, who you talk with, who will come to your aid and you will come to theirs. Right now, people are so divided that hostile groups could basically take over even an armed person's house just by force of arms. Uh, I hear people online always talking about, oh, the cops can come into my house and I'm going to shoot them or something like that. And I tell them, you're a fool. First of all, let's say that an unrighteous martial law happens here and the police or military come to your house. Do you really think that they're going to come with so few people that you have a chance at defending your home against them? No. Most of the time, cops come deep, 6 to 20 deep, especially if they're going to be raiding your house. So if you really do plan on standing, you better have a good plan. You better have backup and be prepared at all times because these are the dark days that we're living in. Have good communications. There's no guarantee that cell phones or even internet will always be here with us because they can be blocked, they can be jammed. Service can be cut easy. So many people rely upon technology now that they can't survive without it, and that's a danger. So I'd also suggest that read some books. There's a lot of good survival books out there, and I'm not talking about necessarily going to live in the woods or anything like that. Just basic things like where can you get water if your water stops running, if you're where to get power if the electricity is turned off, what can you do for heating in an apartment, things like that. There are ways to mitigate every problem. You just got to think about them and learn and prepare. I think the most important thing right now though is, and I touched upon it before, is community. You got to have community. In America especially, our society has really been neutered and divided. We used to be a nation that thrived and was built upon community, but now we're all isolated. Even family members don't get together like they used to. They live miles away from each other. Our social dynamic, our social structures have really eroded, and we need to build those things back up because we're going to need each other in the times that are coming. We're really going to need each other. What else can I suggest? Forgive. Look into your life and forgive people who've done wrong to you, most especially if those wrongs, they're not really acts of betrayal. Now, even acts of betrayal, if at all possible, make peace. But there's some things I understand that you just have to walk away from people over. So I'm not promoting that. But as much as you can, forgive people. Because again, we need each other. And people need you. You have something to bring to the table. The Lord has a calling and a purpose for your life. Don't ever forget that. Oh, that's about it. I hope that it's given you something to think about.